Hello, Noose Little Podcast listeners. Allow me a moment to promote our new official Noose Little Theater merchandise. This can be bought at any show we have. And as you come see, you can go up to the merch table and ask the man or lady, and you can get your official NLT merch. Here's what we have. We have hats, toboggans, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, and we even have big and tall sizes. Just ask the person and they'll set you right up. We also have blankets, pins, key change, stickers, tumblers, frosted pint glass, coffee mug, aluminum water bottle, backpack, and tote bags, etc. We have it all. Be sure to check out our special anniversary merchandise, including our t-shirt featuring all the shows of our historic 50th season. Thank you, and thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome to Noose Little Podcast. This is an audio presentation featuring the backstage antics and stories from your favorite log cabin located on the banks of the Noose River in Smithfield, North Carolina. Please help us celebrate our 51st season and purchase tickets on our website, www.nooselittletheater.org. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the various podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Now please, enjoy the show.
Hi, welcome to Noose Little Podcast. I'm your guest host, Kaitlyn Tarley, and I'm back for another special edition. Today we will be talking about our upcoming show, 1776 The Musical. This is a Clayton Theatricals production in community partnership with Joco 250, Noose Little Theater, Benson Little Theater, and Johnston Community College. But before we get into the fun, a little housekeeping. We have summer camp here at Noose Little Theater. The show dates, this will be easy for y'all to remember. The show is Alice in Wonderland. The show dates are going to be the same as 1776 The Musical, our upcoming show. So we're promoting both of those today here on the podcast. Both show dates are going to be this coming weekend, June 26th, June 27th, and June 28th. The first two nights, Friday and Saturday, are going to be at 7 p.m., and the 28th matinee show will be at 3 p.m., so that is for both shows. Obviously, the cast won't be able to support each other, so it will be your responsibility as the audience to schedule your time properly so you can come see both shows.
We do have a 3 o'clock matinee on Saturday, too, for the summer camp.
Oh, apparently we also have a 3 o'clock matinee.
I'll be at that one.
On Saturday. Well, there you go. Unless you're participating in the festivities on the day of Saturday for the Joco 250 celebration. So lots to do this weekend and into the holiday weekend. So plan accordingly and have lots of fun. Other housekeeping note, auditions for our first show in our new season here at Noose Little Theater will be Bright Star. The audition dates for those will be July 20th and 21st at 7 p.m. here at the Hut. Alrighty, so let's dive in today. I'm going to go ahead and introduce everyone, and then we'll get into the fun stuff, all of the hard questions, of course. So first we have, and I'm not necessarily going to go in order, we have Greg Hill with us. He's going to be playing Mr. John Adams.
Hello.
We have Larry Gray as Dr. Benjamin Franklin.
Hello.
Todd Johnson will be playing Mr. John Dickinson.
Cheerio.
And he just picked out his hair, so we're all very excited about that. Joyce Kilpatrick-Jordan is here as the Reverend John Witherspoon.
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. And I myself am also going to be in the show. I will be Charles Thompson, the Secretary of Congress. And I want to give a special shout out to Andrew Wade, is also here as our director. Thank you for being here, and happy Father's Day to you and to all of our fathers here and for those listening as well. Alrighty, Andrew, get us kicked off. Give us some background on 1776 The Musical and what audience can expect.
Well, as the title might suggest, it is about 1776 and specifically the events leading up to July 4th, 1776. We get to follow our primary cast of characters, our lovely John Adams, Ben Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson, as they merrily and unmerrily go on their way to achieve independence. It is a pretty astounding piece of theater because we all already know the ending, right? We live in the place that they created. Yes?
We should know the ending.
That is fair. That's a fair point. We should know the ending. But the writers have done such a wonderful job with the suspense and the conflict and the compromise and all these things that these men have to go through in order to achieve that final unanimous vote of independence, that the audience gets to really go on a wonderful ride along the way. And I think that they will find themselves in the suspense of will it happen and will it not happen, even though we already know our final ending. So we have a wonderful cast. We get to experience about 20 different members of Congress along the way. We get to experience Abigail Adams and Martha Jefferson. They make appearances, and so we get to see these men, perhaps not as always the demigods, right?
Yeah.
That perhaps history paints them at times, but also the men that they really truly are in between idealism and pragmatism. So it's a wonderful little show, and the music's fun and catchy, and it's a wonderful ride and a great celebration of this year, our 250th anniversary.
Of course, very timely.
Mm-hmm.
Very timely. It's almost like no one else is doing such a
Well, not
show.
this weekend.
And, yeah, not this weekend. We have a monopoly on this weekend, so y'all can be there. But yeah, just as a throw in, the show was written by Peter Stone, music by Sherman Edwards, and we were just talking about the fact that even though it's light on the musical side of it, it's a lot of exciting stuff. And I know for me, I'm admittedly not a big history person, but there's a lot to learn and to be said about the show. So I wanted to start going around. Y'all, if you want to, one by one, just give us a little background as to your character. Again, you can kind of introduce again who you play and just your initial thoughts. Were you aware of this show or the movie beforehand? Were you not aware? What about your character? What did you learn? Jump in there. Who wants to go first? I'll pick if I have to.
I'll go first.
I'll say the crowd
All
is
right.
picking Dr. Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
So.
This is actually my second time doing this show. I did it probably, I want to say 15 years ago when I was living in Alexandria, Virginia. That time I played McNair, who is sort of he's the go-to person in Congress. He's the one who gets everybody everything they need. He's the one who is always going and fetching the rum. So
Very important man.
Yeah, very
Absolutely,
important man.
absolutely.
Yes, he gets the rum. He's important.
He's important.
Yes. This time I get to play a member of Congress. I'm going to be playing Benjamin Franklin. The challenge to this character is he's so iconic. And he's so well known. This is a character you can't really take liberties with. It's Benjamin Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep that in mind. And at the same time, he's one of the probably most relaxed characters. He has the advantage of age and wisdom, and it's just a fun role to play.
Yeah, thank you. All right, who's next?
Why are you looking at me?
Because I guess you're next, Joyce.
I get to play a reverend, which is a first for me, Reverend John Witherspoon. I don't come in at the beginning of the show. It's in scene 3 when I make my appearance. And I come in after everyone else has kind of already defined their characters some. So I'm spending quite a bit of time just sitting around watching everybody else and seeing what they're going to do next. I do come in with the message that I am voting for independence, so that makes me very popular with the others who think like I do, and probably not so popular with the ones that don't think, like Todd over there. But it's an interesting character. I'm enjoying myself, and I'm in awe of the rest of the characters who have really large roles, and they're doing a fantastic job, because anyone who can sing and put one foot in front of the other has my applause to them.
Well, I can sing. I can put one foot in front of the other, but not
Not at the
always where
same
it should be.
I say she didn't say it had to be coordinated. She just said they were moving,
That's
and you do
right.
that way. Okay, I'm looking at you, Greg.
Mr. Adams.
Mr. Adams. I am playing John Adams. I knew of the show, but I think I kind of grew up in that era where it was Phantom and Les Mis and all that, so I was like, oh, that's old stuff. I don't want to listen to that. And so I never really gave the show even much of a chance to listen to. And, with 250 coming up, I haven't really done a show in a while. I was bored. It's kind of cool, Independence. Look at us 250 years later doing what we want. But yeah, I just ran down there, and I have to say it's probably one of the best shows I've ever been in as far as music and just, I was shocked. I should have given the music more of a chance a long time ago, and it's just cute as can be. It's got some, to me, there's some moments that has that Sleeping Beauty from Disney feel, the dingles in the air, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's been a good time, having fun.
It's a fun show.
It is fun.
I would agree that I also was like, history, boring. But...
Well, I love history, but yeah.
It is. It's a fun show, and you're doing
Well,
a
I
great
think
job,
we get this feeling that history is boring sometimes, right? Because especially through the education system, when we take history classes, it's just the memorization of dates and this and the other thing. I mean, my high school history teacher made us learn "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel and find those historic markers. But that was
we
fun.
didn't all have that experience.
Yes. But this show is so wonderful because it has a lot of historicity, actually, as far as shows based on historical events goes. It's more historically accurate than most shows like that. But it also has a lot of wit and a lot of tenderness and a lot of heart and a lot of relationship, and so it really has a lot of depth within that that gets built. So
it has a lot of conflict, but the conflicts are always resolved. So you have the conflict and the resolution, and that is
pun intended.
So
fun. I was thinking it,
but that is so it's a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Am I next?
It's your turn.
Okay, so I'm Mr. John Dickinson from Pennsylvania. I'm kind of a unique character, major Anglophile, which I really identify with because I'm kind of a British descendant and really relate to him. But he was a rich guy, not terribly nice. So I'm having to play into all of that because a lot of it is just not me, but I've really enjoyed getting into this character and where his mind was, but he's this rich, somewhat elegant, sophisticated guy who's kind of snarky and he likes to cut people down and. At the beginning, John Adams is supposedly the one that's not well liked, but I think in the end, Dickinson really is the one who's the least liked in the show. But it's a lot of fun playing this part, and John Adams and I get to, and Benjamin Franklin, we get to get into it.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do, and it's just a fun part to play. This is the first stage role that I have had since I was in high school, 40 some odd years. So it's been, learning curve too. But our director here has been very patient with me, and it's just, I've learned a lot, and I haven't had to memorize lines in quite some time, and having to do that, it's good for this old guy's cognitive development.
Yeah,
so,
good to challenge yourself.
Yeah, and choreography. I used to teach music at the elementary level and middle school level for a few years, and I did a little bit of choreography, but nothing like this. And I'm stretched with this thing, and it's just wonderful. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you mentioned, you touched on the fact that you do have a lot that you identify with your character, but also there's been some challenges with maybe not great challenges, but some challenges and maybe either making that connection or do you want to speak more to that on how you kind of work through that or if it's enough to you find ways to identify with?
Well, I mean, I'm having to pretend. I'm having to act.
You're having to act.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah. Because most people who know me think of me as a nice guy. And, I get along with everybody.
Some people do.
Most people get that impression.
Yes. I get along with people and, I'm pretty tolerant. But John Dickinson was really not. So.
Well, I don't know about you, but
I'm not rich either, so there's that.
I was going to ask which one.
Yeah, there's that too.
I've always found it was a lot more fun playing someone who was opposite of your own personality and character than someone that was similar.
Just because it's a challenge?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's just more fun. I love playing mean people.
What does that say about you, Joyce?
I don't know, I could be on mic, but whatever.
I'll communicate for you. Translator.
Dickinson is not supposed to be a bad guy. We kind of look at him through today's lens as the bad guy.
Mm.
But he was staunchly supporting what he knew and the rules, the regulations, the connection, because at that time they were only once removed pretty much from England. So that's what he was saying. Why don't we fix this instead of trying to just cut ties? So it wasn't a matter of him being a bad guy, but more along the lines of, hey, can't we just take a step back and rethink this very abrupt change in the way we are going to do things in the future, kind of a thing.
And also, he was smart enough to know that this country was getting ready to get into a war that was very violent and bloody. I mean, the Revolutionary War was very violent.
Right.
Not as much bloodshed as the Civil War, but it was pretty bad.
Well, not just your character, but others make valid points as to their hesitation, and so there's a lot of good dialogue. And like Mita was saying, Dickinson's not necessarily the villain per se. I guess everyone has to define who they think is the villain, or if they want to put people in boxes. But they were all human. They were all men. And at the end of the day, they are able to, presumably, obviously, we were not in the room where it happened. But they were able to still respect each other and their opinions and still have a discussion, maybe not always calm and cordial, as you will see when you come to see the show, but there's always that level of respect, which I think is important to highlight nowadays, but always so.
And they ask the questions. I mean, if they hear someone mention something they're at odds with, they want to hear why it's happening. What is your reasoning?
How about anyone else? Does anyone else feel that they deeply connect to their character, or otherwise you feel like it's complete opposite?
Well, I think I connect to Ben. John and Ben both are sort of taking on Dickinson and trying to reason with him and make him see the reason why we need to be independent. John is an aggressive force. He is loud and he is confrontational, whereas Ben is like, okay, take a breath. His approach is sarcasm, wit, and he uses our intelligence to argue the point. And the contrast between the two is, for me, really interesting to watch. They're on the same side. They're both dealing with Dickinson, but from two different approaches.
Yeah. The art of war versus war.
Yes, exactly.
Now, Andrew, I've heard through the grapevine, i.e. you, that you have also been in this show. So what is your perspective both from an actor and now as the director?
When I was in this show, it was 16 years ago or something like that. And I spent a lot of time off stage playing Scrabble with Martha Jefferson because I was the courier, and so I had my 5 entrances and my song, But my love for this show really comes down to like the reality that we get to face within it, and not just the reality of the fight for independence or the Declaration within Congress, but rather the reality of human nature and then politics as a side note to that. The sort of debate within the debate is like idealism versus pragmatism. And and it sort of goes back to, I think it was Otto von Bismarck who said that politics is the art of the possible, the art of the achievable, the art of the second best. And this is something that these characters and these men have to come to grips with over the course of these events, and sort of set the stage for where they'd like to go in the future. But to the conversation that was just happening, I mean, Dickinson is an accomplished man in his own regard, well respected within his community. All these men are. That's why they've been sent to represent the communities in Congress, right? So they have their opinions and their beliefs and their representational choices for their people that they are representing, and the social, economic, etc. systems that they have in place for their people and their own individual colonies within this greater thing that is going to be a united colonial space. And so they are really looking out for their people as best they can. And oftentimes when we are approaching a character and we are looking at him or her, it's sometimes hard to look at it from that perspective, that especially when we're looking at the antagonist of the show or the book or whatever we're doing literarily, that there is a rational choice. No one, or I shouldn't say no one, I guess, but very few people really view themselves as the villain. I mean, they are approaching whatever context they are approaching, the given circumstance that they are approaching, with their own background, history, and point of view, and so there is rational thought within that. And so these opposing sides have to come together in some way, and so there has to be compromise, and so we get to see that. I don't want to give it all away. I mean, we kind of know the history, but it is rather dramatic and wonderfully so, I should say. And so I think for me, the wonderful thing is the juxtaposition of idealism versus pragmatism, and you can go too far either way with those things. But we live in a limited world, and we have to find what we can do with the control that we do have, and so that's what we get to see in this show.
Yeah, I love the wonderfully dramatic. I think I'm going to put that on my profile now.
That's just your
just
epitaph.
Yeah, you have now defined my person. Greg, how about you? What do you have to say about John Adams and your journey into his character?
Well,
Verbose.
what's that?
He's verbose. He says a lot of things.
Well, I think with the character first is you have to figure out. My approach was to just go at it full force and pull back, because he is very loud, and he is obnoxious, and he is disliked. And
We know.
and so that was my goal, was just to come in, find the spots where it could be softer, and so it's not, I'm not to say screaming, but he does get loud, and I guess I can say that I didn't know as much about John Adams before I auditioned for this show. He was an interesting character. I mean, this man took his children off into the world and turned them into dignitaries. I think his one son, who was his, the John Quincy Adams. Yeah, I mean, he used to be like the highest IQ of any president. It goes without saying, but it's just interesting that he was so focused on things and couldn't deter him. He has to become deterred. He has to give up on something, and it hurts him. He don't like it. But good friends come in and remind him we have to do one thing first, and then we can get to the other. But no, it's been I've been enjoying it. It's.
One of the things I think we kind of overlook, or I overlooked until I sat back and reread everything, the Congress had been going on for a long, long time before the play starts. So they already know each other extremely well, probably better than they would like to, know everything about each other's character before we even are introduced.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
Sweet Jesus. It is. It's like it's a small moment in the course of history, but I mean, maybe not for it's a long show, but it still highlights a very small portion of the history, and so there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to kind of delve into, and especially when you're getting into a show, it can be easy to kind of gloss over that because you're trying to just get yourself into who you are and how you fit in. And I think now we're getting to the point where we can see how it flows and see those more minor details and really come to appreciate it. So,
yeah, I mean, to that point, this is only May, June, and July of 1776. And we can sort of bounce through that, right? Like, it's not like we get that entire period. And so there is a significant amount of backstory that exists prior to the action that we see on stage. And so that's all been set up prior, and we just finally get to see sort of the climactic moments of this fight, which is, of course, how most theater works. You know, you have your backstory that exists, and we get to see the really distilled moments that shape people. You know, it is realism. It is real to us, but it's not the mundane moments. We get to see the really distilled, conflict-filled, overcoming, redeeming moments of people's lives.
Yeah. How about, to turn a little bit, we've talked about sort of getting into the characters, like the challenges, and not necessarily of your character necessarily, but were there any challenges that y'all felt like you were coming into or had to overcome for this show specifically? And Andrew, you can add too, from the director perspective. No, everyone's perfect. It was easy.
So memorizing lines, singing and doing choreography in tandem.
Amen.
It's a challenge for people like me who are very one-track minded and with two left feet. But I think I'm going to be able to pull it off. I'm getting there.
You will. You got it. Yes.
Fortunately, we have a very patient director who is willing to take the time for people who are movement challenged, shall I say? Singing and moving at the same time in some kind of rhythmic motion. That's been a challenge. It's also been a challenge for me watching the play unfold. We tend to think of, because I had American history in school and I hated it, and I thought, why do we have to know all these people and why do we need to know when this happened? But we're seeing beyond that the number of issues they were dealing with in trying to get a democracy established, which had never been done before. You know, I don't want to give it all away, but Ben has a line where he says it's never been done before. This is something new. They're setting a whole new precedent, and they are also aware that the entire world is watching. If it works for them, maybe it can work elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing. It was a big moment. It was a risky move, and I mean, for a lot of us today, you know, we're in it, and we don't really take the time to stop or think about it or appreciate it. And yeah, it's hard to imagine really what they were going through, but hopefully this show will give people a glimpse into maybe.
Well, Kaitlyn, since you're here, don't you want to tell us about your character
Oh,
also?
goodness.
I know. I was wondering if someone was going to flip the script here. But
My bad. Well, you know, I have two hats on today. So, so my character, Charles Thompson, I hadn't heard of him before the show. And like I said, I'm not a history person. So not something that I would normally look into, but this was an opportunity for me to kind of delve into the character. I'm like, okay, secretary, you know, I could do that. I like to take notes. So just kind of learning more about the character, though, he was from Irish descendant. I have a very small percentage of Irish blood. However, I identify very strongly with it. So, just finding the little ways to connect to the character. He did a lot of like foreign diplomatic work, fought for Native American rights, which is an issue near and dear to my heart. So, and he designed the seal that we still use today. So, a lot of people that aren't really highlighted in history get you. Well, none of that is really highlighted in the show, but from an actor's perspective, getting to learn more about the characters, even if that isn't something that's conveyed in the show, is something that I feel like can influence, and at least it's bettering you and teaching you something new about yourself. So with that being said, I do have a fun fact, so I'm going to throw it in. I always think about like these shows, like the person that wrote this show, did they just like sit down and just like pick a history book and just pick a random person? Did they grow up and they're like, wow, I just really love John Adams, I want to write a show about John Adams? So Hamilton, everyone knows Hamilton, or everyone should at this point. It's a great show. Fun fact is that Lin-Manuel actually was inspired by the 1776 production. He does give a shout out during the Adams administration song. I'm not going to say what that shout out is, just in case we have any younger audience members listening. But most of them have probably seen Hamilton. But in the Adams administration song, he does make a reference to telling John to sit down. And so it's a small detail. But now this show, 1776, I'm not going to say it's not the same phenomenon that Hamilton is, but it has had a recent revival. And in that revival, it had a non-traditional casting, like women, trans actors, etc. And so to me, it's almost like they are now being inspired by his work that was inspired by their work. So it's sort of that full circle moment in art, which I think is a beautiful thing. So you didn't ask, but that's your fun fact.
Can I do another fun fact?
Absolutely.
The original John Adams, who was? Does anyone know?
Not Greg.
William Daniels. William Daniels.
Yes.
You got the Dan
Daniels.
in there. It was close. William Daniels, who's also played a very famous role in television.
Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Feeney, that's right. And the school that he was principal of was John Adams High.
Wow, look at that.
Because
Y'all didn't
of
know
his
there
role
was so
in
much
1776.
excitement
Yeah.
in this
I'm
show.
impressed you know that.
I love Boy Meets World.
Incredible.
Incredible.
But yeah, so I think about shows like that where it's like, why did he pick Alexander Hamilton? And now everyone knows him. But what about the other historical? What about the Charles Thompsons of history?
Well, you got to put your pen to paper now.
I guess I'm.
You said you like taking notes.
You're right. Anyway.
So I want to say something about history. That's
Yes,
kind of what I
please
do
do.
in my day job. For those who don't know me, I'm the director of the Johnston County Heritage Center and the Johnston County Museum, and that's what we do. But history can be boring, but it's boring if it's presented that way. It's all in the way it's presented.
Absolutely.
And history is stories. And that's what we forget. It's not just memorizing dates and names and dates and, a timeline. It's stories about real people, doing things and, living sometimes ordinary lives, sometimes extraordinary lives, and, really having huge impacts. But it's about stories. And so that's what we do. And anybody who has not been to the Johnston County Museum, if you'll come and walk through it, you'll see lots of fascinating stories that happen right here in our backyard. One, has nothing to do with the Revolutionary War, but there was an enslaved woman who told all of her descendants that she helped invent Vicks Vapor Rub. And but she's never really been given credit for that. And but she's given credit in our museum because there's strong oral tradition in her family that she had a role, and there's some compelling evidence that she did have a role in the development of Vicks Vapor Rub. So anyway, there are just a lot of stories out there.
A lot of fun things. And what better time to come and learn them than during America's birthday.
And a lot of people are
250th.
really, jazzed about history right now because of the 250th, but I hope that will continue because there are a lot of important lessons that we can learn from our history, and it's not boring. It's really not.
It doesn't have to
I
be
live it every
boring.
day, and it is not boring.
So all history teachers listening, when you're teaching your history, now you're going to make all of your students different characters from the time period.
That's why you need to
That-
work with your theater teacher
Yeah. There you
to
go.
bring it to life.
Collaboration. Just like this show is a community partnership.
That's right.
We can all be working together to better the next generation.
Well, the Heritage Center for a number of years has been doing an annual ghost walk in October here in the old cemetery in Smithfield, and a number of years ago we started drawing a lot from Noose Little Theater performers and a lot of theatrical people, and it's made the world of difference because they know how to bring these stories to life and bring these people to life, and that's what we need more of.
I mean, ghost walks have
Inter-
just become a huge thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
in a
I
couple
love
of hours.
ghost
Last
walks.
year, in a couple of hours, we had like over 600 people that walked through the cemetery to hear
awesome.
these stories, and it's a lot of fun. I call it edutainment.
Edutainment. There you go. Look at us. All these trademarks that we're creating.
Well, the Roman philosopher, was it Horace, said that theater is to entertain and to educate.
Okay, so everyone's favorite part of the show. What was your favorite part? Go ahead, Andrew. Start us off. What's your favorite part of directing the show?
Oh, of directing the show?
Yeah.
I thought you meant the show itself.
Well,
like
you
the plot
can
line
like if you
itself.
have a favorite scene. Or
I do
line,
have a
you
very
can do
favorite
that
moment,
too.
and that's been my favorite moment
Go
since
ahead.
I ever did the show the first time. And it's Abigail Adams' last moment in the show. And
Yeah.
it gives me chills and almost brings me to tears
Me
every
too.
time.
Yep.
I'm not going to spoil it, but
'Cause you'll get to-
her and
they'll get to
John's
see it.
relationship is just so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And the last moment that she has is just the way it's written musically is just hits me right in the heart. And so
Just thinking
love
about it is giving me chills.
Yeah.
It's a great moment.
But my favorite part of directing the show is just so I have not ever worked in the community theater space before, and so I've worked as a professional actor, not growing up, but that's where I sort of started in college and then went from there. And then I do youth theater a lot. So I haven't really had the opportunity to work in a community theater space until now, and so that was a learning opportunity for me, but also really a wonderful thing to be able to sit with this particular community and do this. It's my favorite part has just been working with these fine people who have come out to share their talent and their time and their passion and to create their own congressional community. It's been really fun to watch and to work with and just to see the diverse backgrounds and histories of these people. You know, Todd said he hasn't done this in 40 years, and Larry's from he did a lot of stuff up in Alexandria, and there's people who have been in Clayton forever with working with Noose and with Benson and this community, and this is the community in which me and my family have decided, we're not from here, but we've been here for about 5 years and have decided to sort of settle and stay. And so it's just my favorite part is just being able to be a part of this community.
So have we
and to
convinced
build
you
these things.
to work with adults again, or did
Some of you.
we confirm that?
No, I'm kidding.
Do you want to name names?
Yes. No, it's been great. It's been great. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. It's we've had our challenges as far as just getting everything, spaces and rehearsals. There's on the technical side, there's been logistical stuff, but the actual process has been relatively easy. I mean, I think everyone is just bought in and ready to go, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see it come to fruition next week.
Yeah. Well, I think I speak for the whole cast where we have enjoyed working with you all
thank
as
you.
well.
Yes.
So we hope
Appreciate
that you
that.
will
You do.
continue to participate.
He has
with
the
us.
perfect leadership style. He keeps everything positive. He
Yes.
makes you do it over and over and over till you get it right, and that's what I do when I direct a choir. Don't I, Joyce and
Yes,
Larry?
you do.
Yes.
We go over and over and over until we get it right.
Are you saying
Or
But
the
I can
lines we
still-
can make it. Yes.
But I can still smile and while we're going over it and over it and over it and keep things positive.
Keep it
and
fun.
it's so important because that inspires people to want to do better
Because
and
it's a
to
lot
please
of,
you.
It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you might as
yeah.
well have fun with it.
Yeah.
Okay, what is everyone else's favorite part of the show? Or if you'd rather give like a favorite moment.
I think
line.
my favorite moment in the show is when Ben Franklin is speaking to John. And Ben's kind of had it at this point, the constant friction. And he turns and he says to John, these people, no matter how much you agree or disagree with them, are a part of this country. For me, that's just such a moving statement and very parallel to what's going on today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we live in a country that sadly has become, I think, in many ways very divided, but this is a country where we are all allowed to have our opinions, but we have to find the common ground, and we have to learn how to get along and live with each other.
Yeah. From the wise sage words of Dr. Benjamin Franklin. but it is true. So it is a very timely thing, not just for the birthday of America, but also just for where we are now. Okay, Joyce.
Okay.
My eyes have gone to you again. What's your
I
favorite moment?
I'll have to say that the thing that impressed me initially, and it still impresses me every time I hear it, is the opening number. Sit down, John. I mean, with
that's
me,
encouraging, Joyce.
With me, but standing back in the audience and listening to it, it sounds good, it looks good, and the energy is there, and I hope it stays.
Do you
there,
agree?
But,
It'll stay.
I do. I do.
Naturally,
It was wonderful
I do.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Absolutely wonderful.
Notice how he threw that in there. Yesterday.
Look, that's what
It
the
was
rehearsal
good.
process is.
We'll
I mean,
see how tomorrow
if it was
is.
perfect 2 weeks ago, then I would have been shocked.
I mean, I
So,
know I didn't do
yeah.
it perfectly yesterday. I will admit.
Well, we'll be
So-
on mics on Monday,
so it
so
could be better.
we'll hear, really
I
where
will
you
hear
are,
something You
Kaitlyn.
don't want to hear.
I think the sound was okay. I just sitting.
No, the
sitting
opening
down.
number is wonderful. It's got great energy. It's a beautiful opening number. It's
Yeah.
great.
It is.
It's fun.
It starts the whole thing off with a bang, and I never get tired of hearing it.
We'll see about that.
That's the benefit of not coming in until scene 3.
I know.
We'll get your notes this week too, Joyce.
Okay.
Okay, who's next? We got 2 left.
Go ahead, Mr.
What's your
Adams.
favorite moment?
I really love theater, like so much. I love the whole thing.
And that's great, but you're not allowed to say that. So.
I mean, it's hard for me to pick.
Do you have a favorite line that you specifically? Well, it doesn't have to be you. Anyone gives. I know I have a lot of moving lines, maybe.
I've got about 250.
They are the
lines.
Constitution, yeah.
I mean, they move things along, but no.
While he's thinking,
Yeah. I think so.
I won't say this is a favorite moment, but the most impactful moment is when Rutledge from South Carolina sings a song
Yes.
about acknowledging
Heavier topics.
It's heavier, but it's a topic that needs to be acknowledged, and that is slavery.
Yeah.
That was a real thing. It was part of the history, and it was something that was not really dealt with by the actual Continental Congress in Philadelphia in 1776. But
John Adams wanted it to be dealt with.
Some wanted it to be. However, the play, the musical, brings this out, and I think that's something that needed to be acknowledged in our modern times.
And our Rutledge does a wonderful job with the
Yes,
song.
he does.
It's
Because
a hard song.
freedom and
Yes.
independence did not come to everybody in 1776. It was, to a kind of a select group, and we need to acknowledge that. That's part of the history, and I'm grateful that that's brought out, even though it's not really, what happened in Philadelphia in the summer of '76. I'm glad that topic is dealt with, and the song is just very, very impactful. That's all I'll say about
I
that.
agree.
Have you thought of anything, Greg? Just reveling in your love for theater.
Well,
and
there's just so much in there for me. I mean, it's 250 lines I've got. It's a lot of lines, and some of them are long
You
lines.
stopped and counted them.
I write them in
He
little
wrote 'em all
flip
down.
books.
Yeah, so you
So
write some
they're
down.
50
So.
pages per flip book.
Wait, did you say there's 250?
Little shy,
Oh, okay.
but you add the
We're
music.
we're gonna take it.
You add the music.
It counts.
If you add the music and you add the lines in the music, because I don't have those written down. It's well over 400.
Yeah.
My favorite rehearsal moment is when John Adams broke 2 canes in one rehearsal.
I'll say if we could make a B-roll,
In a 5-minute period.
it would be the transition of the cane. That was, yeah.
You're not supposed to actually kill your co-star.
He
I don't
has
know.
made some
Rochus
adjustments.
did that. Speaking of Romans.
Yeah.
And we're very careful about what props we let John Adams know.
He's passionate. I
He
like
is.
that in an actor.
He's bringing the character out, so.
That's the reason we sit him down front by himself.
He's the Johnston County Rochus. Go look up Rochus. That's your next one. Who is Rochus?
I would love to do
All these homework.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Take notes, Andrew.
I would love to. The biscuits are burning.
I'm not shocked at all.
We are devolving. I can tell.
I guess what I really like about it is that, John Adams is robust and he's loud, he's obnoxious, he admits it, people tell him it, he don't care, you're like, oh well. But you get to little moments of when John and his wife are together but not, they're apart, they're speaking by letter. And you see this really soft side to this man who's madly in love with his wife. And it's just, you have to think, sit back and think, this man put his whole life on hold. And for us, for us, 250 years later, we're still diving into this enjoyment of what we call the free world. And in order to get that, it takes a lot of things in this world to achieve it. And one of that's an army. And he mentions that, army needs something to fight for. He brings up spirit. Dickinson goes, spirit. Why didn't I think of that? And I think what I want to say is that a lot of men and women from the Revolution to present day have not come home. And when people tell me thank you for my service, I always say, I didn't fight for it. We just preserved what was fought for. And they did that then. And I mean, even Franklin says, he said we can either hang together or hang separately. And I think that's probably one of my favorite lines from the show, actually. I think George Washington says something to us. It's only treason if you lose, something of that nature. But having been a service member, I can say that this is very dear to my heart because I probably never would have went on the same journey. I mean, John Adams, the one that created the Navy. And he's just very important to our history. It just probably never would have happened without him.
Yeah.
It just... He used some lines in there. He said, I've mortgaged my farm to the hilt. He said, when most men prosper, I'm in despair. I'm paraphrasing, trying to still get all the lines down, all 250. But, he just gave up everything. Everything. And he just rolled with it. Just rolled. And, I get mad respect for somebody like that, I mean, but yeah, it's been fun. I have enjoyed it. I hate we're only doing it one weekend.
I know.
We could do it all week.
All
2
the
weeks,
time,
3
every
weeks, 4
weekend.
weeks. Every day.
So our lesson from this podcast, kids, is to learn to appreciate your history and then talk your teachers into doing role play because it's more fun that way.
You just mentioned kids. Can we mention something? Mm-hmm. Sure. My daughter's in the kids' camp here this week, and the kids are with our schedule, and their schedule will not be able to see the show. So I asked Andrew, and Andrew said, I think it's a great idea. We'd like to invite the children and their families to Thursday night show. It's a rehearsal, but come on out. You can bring mom and dad. You won't be able, they won't be able to see it. So come on and see it, and
it'll be perfect by then. So
that's right.
Come
and
enjoy the show.
Sometimes the best audience is a child audience. They really enjoy it.
They should give us
Mr. White Rabbit.
Yes, old Caleb Holmes.
Queen of Hearts.
Oh, Ava.
Yeah. So just to wrap it up, since Andrew took my favorite moment in the show, but But the same thing with like the acting process for me, it's just watching everything come together. And I feel like we've made it to that moment, which is probably why that's also my favorite moment in the show, is that moment where you feel that energy shift and you're like, hey, something's happening, something's coming together. The show is coming together. It's going to be a great show. I know I'm biased, but it is what it is. It's going to be a great show. It's a fun show in and of itself. So come see it. Support our kids here. Come support our show. Tickets are not that expensive. So, but you should support your local community theater anyway.
It's a coffee at Boulevard. You know.
Oh goodness, not the forgo one coffee.
Just one.
But
Number
just
3,
one.
McDonald's cost more.
There you go. Yeah, so you can have your coffee and you can come see the show. But come check us out. Thank you to each one of you for being here today, for taking time out of your schedule and out of this wonderful holiday to spend time with us and talk about our upcoming show. It's going to be very exciting. And thank you as well. Special thank you to our producer, Toole. And this has been the News Little Podcast.